My best friend and I married into the Pay family, which holds absolute power in this city. I married Adrian, the heir to the family business. She married Julian, the red-hot movie emperor in the entertainment industry. Looking at the paparazzi photos of Julian dining with his white moonlight, she asked me in pain, "Are you divorcing or not? Once we divorce, each of us can have 2 male models and travel the world." I stared at the press release about the white moonlight securing an endorsement from the Pay Corporation. I steeled my heart. Divorce. Find high-quality male models, they must be more handsome than Adrian. After saying that, a sudden chill came over my head. A faint voice sounded in my ear, "Darling, try saying that again." Vivian and I sat side by side on the spacious sofa, playing with our phones. Her finger suddenly stopped on the screen. I leaned over to look, and oh boy. A well-known paparazzo captured her husband Julian dining with Claire, the little white flower who had just returned to the country. They were arm in arm, with intimate gestures. Claire is the white moonlight of the 2 Pay brothers, the 2 families are old acquaintances. Since we married in, she has only existed in the mouth of our naive and sweet mother-in-law. Claire doesn't even call me, I miss her strangely. Which of you 2 will ask Claire when she's coming back? Claire this, Claire that every day, it's caused us no small psychological shadow. Vivian's expression showed a trace of daze. But she quickly calmed down and asked me in pain, "I'm preparing to divorce. Are you divorcing or not?" My temptation level was 10%. After all, since childhood, I'd been Vivian's tag-along. She studied science, so I studied science. She went to Z University, so I followed to Z University. She married into the Pay family, so I eagerly followed suit. But my husband hasn't dined with his white moonlight, so isn't divorce a bit excessive? While I hesitated, she upped the ante. "Julian's salary card is with me, sis can support you. Once we divorce, each gets 2 male models to travel the world." Temptation level rose to 40%. Male models sound pretty good, but just 2 might not be as impressive as Adrian. 10 male models. Temptation level 80%. I widened my eyes, the word good on the tip of my tongue, ready to burst out. But my last bit of reason was still holding me back. The phone notification dinged, and a prominent title suddenly intruded into my view. Newcomer Little White Flower Claire successfully becomes the Pay Group's annual spokesperson. Signing fee reportedly up to $50 million. The accompanying image was of her and Adrian cutting the ribbon together. She smiled gently and radiantly, full of triumph. And behind her, my damned husband gazed at her with deep eyes. He has never looked at me with that gaze. Every time I joke with him or do something abstract, he looks at me like I'm an idiot and says, "Are you sick?" Thinking of this, I steeled my heart and said, "Divorce." Vivian was overjoyed and immediately called the lawyer. She discussed property division matters methodically. Hearing her say she wanted to take half of the Pay family's assets, my eyes widened. That must be so much money. She even haggled with the lawyer on the phone, saying that for 2 lawsuits, there should be a 20% discount. No wonder Vivian is the big sister, and I'm the little follower. Her brain is just sharp. I stared at my phone wallpaper, which was my wedding photo with Adrian. I still felt a bit reluctant. After all, besides giving me money, Adrian also provided plenty of pleasure on another level. I weakly spoke from the side, find high-quality male models. Vivian turned to look at me, and her expression instantly stiffened. I was still immersed in beautiful fantasies and continued, "They must be more handsome than Adrian." Vivian covered her mouth about to exclaim, trembling as she pointed behind me. Before I could turn around, a familiar hand reached over. It grabbed the back of my neck like a little chick and pulled me to his side. His voice was somewhat cold. "Darling, try saying that again." I mechanically turned my head and met Adrian's icy face. He squinted at Vivian, as if she had instigated my divorce. "Sister-in-law," he emphasized the words heavily, "Julian is on his way, you think about how to explain to him first." Vivian was stunned, plopped down on the sofa, and started brainstorming. She had no time for me, none of my pleading looks were received. Where's the tacit understanding in critical moments? Ah? I could only awkwardly stare at Adrian's sharply defined profile. Until he turned to meet my gaze, changing his expression. The corners of his mouth slightly curved up, but his voice was still cold. One divorce in our family is enough, let them divorce, we won't. I always feel Adrian's voice is like a bewitching drug to me. It lured me to nod. I obediently nodded, and thoughts of divorce and male models flew to the clouds. A roar of a sports car came from outside. One could tell it was Julian, the flashy car enthusiast, returning home. With a sharp brake sound, he pushed the door open in less than a minute. He must have rushed back from the set, still in ancient costume, looking tired. He glanced at us and called, "Brother, sister-in-law." Adrian held me and faintly hummed, saying, "Your wife instigated my wife to divorce, handle it yourself." Julian rushed straight to Vivian. He rubbed his brow, his tone impatient. "Vivian, what are you fussing about now? Last time you made a scene about divorce because I filmed a kiss scene. Since then, I haven't taken any more kiss scenes. The time before that, an assistant gave me a handmade cake, and I fired her immediately. This time, what's your dissatisfaction?" Vivian sneered and threw the phone at him. "See for yourself." I was eagerly watching the drama when Adrian pulled me away. "Other people's family matters, let's not join the fun." As if we're not part of the Pay family? I muttered in my heart but obediently followed in action. Sitting in the passenger seat, I softly asked him, "Why is Claire the spokesperson?" "She just returned, her debut isn't long, and her representative works are few. There's a movie emperor at home, even if avoiding suspicion, it's fine. But there are countless popular young actresses in the entertainment industry. Logically, it shouldn't be her turn in 8 lifetimes. Selena, don't follow Vivian's nonsense. Claire is just a sister who grew up with me, I have no other thoughts." "No other thoughts? What about the photo of the two I found in the drawer right after marriage?" At the time, I tremblingly showed the photo to Vivian. She didn't speak, went back to her room, and took out a photo too. It turned out the photo was of 3 people. Claire stood in the middle, smiling innocently and charmingly. Adrian cropped out his brother's part on the right. Julian cropped out his brother's part on the left. Such tacit understanding, no wonder they're blood brothers. I said no more, turned up the car music, and stared out the window in a daze. Adrian seemed afraid I'd contact Vivian. He took me to the company, watching me closely. Even in meetings, he gave me paper and pen, letting me sit behind him to doodle. I have to say, he looks really handsome in work mode. His eyes under the gold-rimmed glasses seriously stared at the screen. When hearing key points, he spoke timely and incisively. Not much expression, occasionally glancing back at me, as if saying, "Are you bored? It's almost over." But the meeting really lasted a long time, long enough that I was about to fall asleep. I'm used to it, after all, he's the one who rushes back to the company on our anniversary because of a subordinate's mistake, leaving me in the hotel penthouse staring at flowers and cake in a daze. I could only call Vivian over, otherwise, such a big bed would be wasted. Until the secretary knocked, saying Miss Claire has arrived. Found here today, details continue tomorrow. Only Claire can free him from work mode. I followed behind him, seeing Claire for the first time. I had searched her information online, 25 years old, resume very clean, no negative news. Even that she's the Bai family's daughter wasn't exposed by media, she must be well protected by her family. She wore a white dress, identical to her 18-year-old photo. I suddenly understood why both brothers couldn't forget her. That clean purity on her is irresistible to any man. She sweetly called, "Brother Adrian, am I disturbing you?" Completely ignoring me, perhaps thinking I'm just an insignificant secretary. Adrian said, "No, your timing is perfect." He turned to instruct the secretary to take me back to the lounge. He also told her to order my favorite desserts and fruit tea. Looking like a thoughtful man. But this thoughtful man didn't glance at me from start to finish. The air conditioning in the lounge was too strong, the chill seeping into my heart. I looked at the dozen missed calls from Vivian on my phone and called back. This time, I asked first, "Vivian, are you still divorcing?" After a few seconds of silence on the other end, a firm voice came, "Divorce." Vivian and I met at a bar, drinking ourselves into oblivion. "Selena, do you know what that dog of a man Julian said?" "He said Claire just returned and wanted him to introduce resources, so he went to the appointment." "What about me?" "I once showed promise in the entertainment industry, my talent is no less than Claire's." "But what did I get from marrying him?" "Restrictions on appearing in public, and a man whose heart isn't with me." I whispered, "But you got money." "Vivian spends extravagantly, luckily she married into the Pay family, whose foundation can withstand her spending." Upon hearing this, her hazy eyes lit up, she grabbed my hand, her tone firm as if swearing, "Right. I have money. The Pay family has only 2 sons, if we take half their assets, what man can't we find then?" At this point, she seemed to suddenly think of something and asked me, "You and Adrian didn't sign any prenuptial agreement, right?" "Actually, we did. Before marriage, under the lawyer's witness, Adrian presented an agreement for me to sign. At the time, I was mesmerized by his face and figure, signed without glancing." Vivian exclaimed upon hearing, "We're doomed, we can only take a quarter then." I asked her, "How much is a quarter?" She counted on her fingers, "Enough for us to hire 10 premium male models a day, no repeats, until we die." Me, yay. We happily decided to officially divorce once the lawyer drafted the agreement. While waiting, it coincided with our mother-in-law's birthday. We had to keep up appearances, so we attended the banquet dressed up, hand in hand, leaving the 2 brothers exchanging glances. Normally, we would link arms with our husbands, accompanying them in socializing. Today they were alone. At first, Vivian and I thought she was giving us, the unsatisfactory daughters-in-law, a show of power. But it wasn't, she genuinely likes Claire. I heard she always wanted a daughter, but had 2 sons, the neighboring family was busy, so princess-like Claire was practically raised by her. Vivian couldn't stand it and pulled me to leave. But Claire glanced over intentionally or not, asking, "I haven't met the 2 sisters-in-law, Aunt Lynn, won't you introduce me?" Fine, we couldn't leave. She greeted us obediently, complimenting Vivian's beauty. "Nonsense, she's stunning, if she were still in the industry, would there be room for you?" When it was my turn, she sized me up and complimented that I look like I can eat well. Haven't I just gained 7 or 8 pounds recently, looking fatter next to Vivian? Is it necessary to mock me like that? I endured it, but Vivian wouldn't indulge her. First time meeting sister, indeed extraordinary temperament, like a lotus emerging from clear water without being seductive. "With this white dress, doesn't it make you look even more like a white lotus?" Mother-in-law didn't understand, nodding approvingly. Claire's face turned red then green, like a palette. She didn't respond, just inserted herself between the brothers to talk. Such a harmonious scene. Vivian and I exchanged glances, our resolve to divorce strengthened. There were many of Julian's investors at the banquet. Claire wouldn't miss this opportunity, shyly following him to network. Vivian's eyes scanned over, whispering to me. This director who previously wanted me in his film, but I refused due to love brain. This Mr. Wong said he'd open an agency for me, even after I quit, he occasionally emails me to come back. Damn, she's picking up all the bargains, if I'd known, I'd die in the entertainment industry. She was so angry she seemed about to explode. The final trigger was Claire unabashedly brushing an eyelash off Julian's face in front of others. The pent-up anger all night finally erupted, she found an opportunity and stomped her high heel hard on Claire's skirt hem. Claire exclaimed in surprise, looking down, a large piece of her skirt was torn. Though no exposure, a damaged gown at such an event was truly embarrassing. Julian came over, pulling Vivian, his voice raised, "Vivian. What are you doing? Why embarrass her?" Adrian also came over and said to me, "Can you lend her a skirt?" This was the first thing they said to us tonight. I smiled and said, "Sure, they're all bought by you anyway, you decide." He looked at me inscrutably, finally waiting to have the aunt take Claire upstairs to change. Vivian pulled me to flee the Pay house. We got into the red sports car Julian bought, speeding to 120 kilometers per hour. When we stopped, she said, "No waiting for the agreement, we'll leave tomorrow." The next day, we arrived in the Maldives. This was once our dream honeymoon destination. But Adrian was too busy with work, Julian had no schedule for filming, and it ended up fizzling out. Each with a mojito, sunbathing, blissfully relaxed. But phones kept ringing. Julian messaged her, "Had enough fuss? Come home if so. I apologized to Claire on your behalf for last time. I haven't gotten angry about your divorce talk, why Cold War again?" Adrian was much calmer, "Don't always fool around with Vivian, come back, I'll accompany you shopping. Come home when done playing, the dog at home awaits your feeding." One hasn't grasped the severity, the other thinks his wife is just traveling. Stupid brothers, my family was blind back then. But I really can't part with the dog at home, I asked Vivian, "Can we add a clause in the divorce agreement that custody of the dog goes to me?" Vivian nodded and called the lawyer. The lawyer said it could be sent to the Pay house tomorrow. We both expressed satisfaction, turned off phones, took off sunglasses, and beautifully searched for fair-skinned, long-legged foreign hunks on the beach. When turning on again, notifications rang endlessly. They didn't expect us to be serious, now they're truly stunned. Julian went from anger to pleading, finally saying, "Divorce, you only get half my money, no divorce, it's all yours." Vivian rolled her eyes, muttering, "You think I'm after your money?" Joke. She really wasn't. When with Julian, she didn't even know he was a Pay son. "Your husband, no, what did Adrian send you?" I tremblingly handed the phone. Adrian said, "Didn't you say I'm good in bed? If good, don't divorce." Vivian tapped rapidly on the screen, when handing back, I nearly dropped the phone in the pool. Previously inexperienced, now tried others, feel you're not up to par. Killing with words. But I haven't tried, we're giants in words, dwarfs in action. Accustomed to fine fare, suddenly facing average looks, hard to go for it. The male model I ordered yesterday, I at most touched his hand. Vivian Boulder, touched abs. Finally smacked lips saying, "Skinny, not as good as Julian." We got tired playing, agreement delayed, so returned home first. Don't know how Adrian found our itinerary, saw him at arrivals right off the plane. It's a workday, normally he'd be at company. I thought to put on hat and mask, pretend not to know. Vivian poked me, "Stop pretending, his eyes haven't left you since we exited. Anyway, going back to force signatures, might as well hitch a ride." We said nothing, obediently got in Adrian's car. As I entered, my dear dog rushed over wagging tail, full of love from eyes to body. They say men are dogs, I think men aren't even as good as a dog. Julian was also home, sitting silently on the sofa. We each followed our future ex-husbands to our suites. I surveyed the bedroom I'd slept in for 3 years, the joy characters on the wall had long faded. Actually, Adrian tore them down the day after the wedding, he likes minimalism, can't stand flashy things. These I forced him to repost later, still not torn today. Adrian was truly angry, he threw the divorce agreement at me, saying, "Speak, why divorce?" I stiffened my neck, "Others are better than you." He suddenly pinned me on the sofa, the kiss's force couldn't be pushed away. We hadn't been this intimate for months, he was too busy, often coming home late and collapsing asleep. After a long time, he released me, tears welled in my eyes, "Others are not only better, even kissing skills stronger." Now he was really angry, neck veins bulging, voice cold as ice. "You'd better tell me it's fake, or I'll find that person and kill him." He's a madman, I've always known. Right after marriage, I worked at a small company. After being sexually harassed by the boss, I cried and told him. The next day, the company closed. That boss was ambushed at night on his way home, beaten to second-degree disability, and jailed for embezzlement. After that, he wouldn't let me work outside. My tears finally flowed uncontrollably. "Adrian, I really want to divorce you." Married 3 years, work always more important than me in your heart. You missed my birthday, left me on anniversary, besides compensating with jewelry and bags, you won't even say sorry. Now Claire's back, even she's more important, why continue this marriage? He was stunned, asking, what does this have to do with Claire? I pointed to his drawer. There was once a treasured photo of you two, you think I didn't know? Otherwise, how do you think the photo disappeared? I tore it myself. He held his forehead. I really don't remember a photo, nor when you tore it, because I never looked at it. I closed my eyes, feeling tired. Forget it, arguing this is meaningless. Since marriage, I've nagged for a honeymoon, you always said too busy, wait, this wait is 3 years. Now I've gone, suddenly realizing without you, I can still travel and see. The outside world is so wonderful, much better than waiting foolishly at home. Let me go, prenup signed, I won't take a penny, let me leave, okay? Except during intimacy, I've never seen Adrian lower his head. Now he hung his head, half his face hidden in shadow, expression unclear. After a long time, he lifted his head, eyes reddish at the corners. Okay, I agree. The string in my heart finally snapped. Goal achieved, but unsure whether to laugh or cry. But the dog is mine, come back to see it when free. I forced a smile, okay. He silently picked up the agreement, his signing hand trembling, making my heart tremble too. Leaving the pay house, I couldn't help looking back. Adrian held the struggling dog wanting to run to me, standing at the door motionless. Julian is truly despicable. He tore the agreement in front of me, asking, for money? I said, no divorce, it's all yours to spend. I'm truly disappointed in him, married over 3 years, gave up my career for him, willingly being a caged bird in the empty new house. He says I'm for money? I called the lawyer in front of him to redraft. I don't want a penny, worst case, earn myself to support Selena. He frowned, if not for money, why divorce? I suddenly recalled our first meeting. I was still in university, taking my first role. He was the male lead, I was just female N. He was at his peak, one step from the top, seeing a star usually only on big screen, I was nervous. Frequent mistakes in scenes with him. The director, seeing me a newbie, berated me harshly, making me feel worthless. Finally, he said he was off form, everyone rest before reshooting. I really didn't want this job anymore, hiding backstage crying messily. Unintentionally disturbing him sleeping nearby, he rubbed eyes, asked why crying. I act badly, maybe not suited to be an actor. But he smiled, told me a lot. Said when debuting, he was cursed out by directors, also hid backstage crying weekly. But now? Everyone praises Julian's talent, optimistic about his future. Finally, what others say doesn't matter, if you believe you can, you can. Then winked, if director scolds you later, I'll scold his lens language handling, my status high, I'll scold back for you. I persisted to win that year's newcomer award all because of him. I inevitably liked him. Later, I picked crews with him, regardless of role size, just to see him. Even glimpsing his phone wallpaper another girl, even stopping script reading to take Claire's call. I still liked him. Effort pays off. One day he changed wallpaper, asked if I'd be his girlfriend. That night, I cried loudly under covers. Later married him as wished, gave up rising career, willingly cooked for him. Until Claire returned, I realized loving someone means overcoming obstacles to see them. I was like that, Julian too. Forced love is just scattered sand. I pulled from memories, asked, did you like Claire? That was before, now just old acquaintance's sister. Then why meet privately? Why introduce resources? Why embarrass me in front of her? My triple question stunned him, he scratched neck. Before speaking, I interrupted, don't say more, divorce is set, no discussion. I don't want your money, we're hidden marriage anyway, no need for statement. If you disagree, I don't mind court ugliness. Julian's face was truly ugly, don't know what he muttered, I was so angry my ears rang, heard nothing. Finally, fine, divorce, I haven't handled family business, no shares in my name. Years pay in your card, plenty, take it. I wasn't polite, grabbed bag and left, bumping into dazed Adrian holding dog. Such a tall man staggered from my bump, embarrassing for him. Selena squatted at door waiting, eyes and lips red. I startled, bitten by dog? She wailed into my arms aggrieved, feels like bitten by dog these 3 years. I empathized, hugged her as we cried together. I cried tired, Vivian too. Sobbing, wiping tears and snot on each other. We returned to her pre-marriage apartment bought with pay, sat on sofa dazed. She asked, want to call 2 male models over? I waved, in a few days, too tired today, their chattering hurts my ears. She nodded, true, eyes swollen from crying, can't see them like this. We used Julian's card to splurge everywhere, no holding back. Entertainment really pays. No need for pay family, his pay alone enough for lifetime luxury. A month later, feeding giraffes in Africa. Lawyer called, both divorces processed, just go back for certificates. The appointed day was fine, mood good too. Vivian and I tanned at least 3 shades darker, wrapped tightly at civil affairs. The brothers looked more listless than each other, eye bags drooping to mouths. Speaking hesitantly, as if wanting to say something. Vivian didn't indulge, went straight to process, covered ears hearing nothing. Getting certificate, she hugged and spun me, Selena, we're free. We booked out a restaurant for duo candlelight dinner. She suddenly, you know? My first candlelight dinner was with Julian. She's really drunk, how could I not know? She recommended the restaurant I part-timed at, to let me meet her boyfriend early. Thinking 2 glasses got him dead drunk, had to call his brother to pick up. That's when I first met Adrian. Just about to reminisce with her, startled by her sudden standing scream. Glad we booked out, not too embarrassing. Trembling, she showed lawyer's message, sis, my Selena sis, you didn't say your prenup gives all assets to you. Ah? I really didn't know. Now our combined money exceeds pay families, help. You're my real sis. I was stunned, just received Adrian's WeChat. Never thought of divorce when marrying, knew you insecure, drafted prenup leaving 80% assets to you. Didn't expect you fool not to glance, not afraid I'd sell you. My throat tightened, choking unable to speak. I really miss my dog. Almost a month divorced, thinking scratches head. Adrian messages every few days, want to see dog? No reply, he says I'm irresponsible, abandoning husband and child bad mom. Vivian was bathing, on whim, sent her abstract text, when bathing I'll proactively scrub back, you just say thanks, not who are you, how you enter ungrateful words. 5 seconds, she replied, thanks. Am I also someone Vivian replies wet-handed? Boohoo touched. Look closer, avatar my dog. Done, sent to Adrian. He never understood my abstracts before, how post-divorce humor heightened. Soon second message, thanks said, time to scrub back. We often scrubbed each other's backs, then scrubbed to indescribable places. I shook head quickly, shaking dirty thoughts out, withdrew message. Adrian sent, I ignored. Stared at avatar missing my dog, but really didn't want to see him. When Vivian out of bath, we discussed, decided grand feet steal dog from pay house. Exciting. Steal dog day fine weather, like divorce day. Harboring wish to see baby son daily, with Vivian in hats masks sneaked back to pay house. We picked perfect time, my ex working, her ex filming, ex-mom-in-law out for Pilates. Originally planned flip wall from backyard, Vivian looked like it fool, don't you know password? Yes. Then why flip wall? Felt thieving needs ritual. She rolled eyes, familiarly entered password open door. Should have flipped wall. Door open, we faced ex-mom-in-law, staring wide-eyed. Vivian quickly pulled brim down, changed voice, sorry, wrong place. But my dog smelled me, tail wagging like propeller, mom-in-law couldn't hold. Vivian, Selena, is it you? Divorced why not visit mom, miss you strangely. Hey, don't go, they're not here, eat then leave. Vivian pulled me running fast, stopping, both wanted to cry. Actually this mom-in-law, though unclear, treated us well. 3 years, like half a mom. Night. Adrian messaged, if want see dog tell my mom, I absolutely not home obstructing, but no stealing dog. So embarrassing, caught stealing dog. But since Adrian said, I wasn't polite. Every few days messaged ex-mom-in-law to see dog, she enthusiastic, always invited eat. Adrian kept word, I never saw him once. Just from yard looking up, second floor unopened bedroom window, curtains moved like haunted. Vivian preparing comeback. Our money idle anyway, better open agency. I nodded vigorously, worrying where to spend. Heavily invest to promote Vivian, snatch all Claire's resources. If not gender difference, best snatch Julian's too. I became her manager, long not enjoyed work's busyness and fulfillment, truly wonderful. But comeback road tough, news out, someone bought massive articles, exposed Vivian completely. No need think, Claire did it, Vivian's comeback threatens her. One article titled, Green Tea Actress Wants Comeback? Married male stars' wives watch your husbands. No names, but hints everywhere it's Vivian. Saying she hooked married male stars on set, clung to movie emperor deeply despised. She paced living room angry, making me dizzy. She's turning tables. She's the one hooking married males. Right after marriage, Julian and I about to sleep late night, she calls crying missing his mom, angered me slapped her, mark so deep Julian couldn't work 10 days. I couldn't help thumbs up for her. Weibo exploded, entry Julian responds. He used private account offline centuries, as movie emperor never clung to, as married male star never hooked. Image old set backstage photo, taken by Vivian. She photographed Julian sleeping, saved an album, don't know when he found. Comments full of shocked netizens at Julian married. Hot search hung 3 days, suppressing Vivian's black articles completely. Vivian smoothly got big female lead drama, fitting her style, public expectation high. Heard investor her old fan, insisted treat dinner, named communication. I had to accompany her. Investor bald greasy man, kept pouring Vivian wine. I wanted to stop, Vivian drank one after another fastest. Whispered, fine, won't get drunk. I could only watch her face redden, eyes drift. Until hand shook spilling all wine, I grabbed her glass. Gentlemen, Vivian a bit drunk, I'll drink for her. Greasy man sized me up, acquiesced. When I somewhat drunk, he went out for call. Returned beaming, holding door crack not entering, our backer Adrian here too, everyone stand toast him. He opened door, gestured please inside. Adrian appeared unexpectedly in view, after 3 months. He seemed thinner, wearing shirt I bought before, no longer fitting well. He scanned room lackluster, eyes suddenly brightened landing on me. Whooshed in, found seat. My head dizzy, but held back not looking. Followed crowd hazily smiling toasting, this glass down, nearly retched uncontrollably on table. Quickly covered mouth rushed to bathroom vomiting. Back to room, felt clearer, even could drink more. Vivian already asleep on table. Just about to open door, heard greasy man's fawning, Vivian truly beautiful, still Adrian you designated female lead, specially invited you today, knowing you must have interest in her. Adrian looked up, expression stern, no interest. Greasy thought posing, lowered voice sleazily. She's drunk now, won't remember anything. Rest assured, everyone in room won't remember tonight. As for her manager, looks good too, almost drunk, I'll take out later, absolutely won't spoil your fun. What's most taboo in workplace? Smartly guessing leader's mind. Adrian's face completely cold, this expression I know too well. When he dealt with harassing small boss, same, even more terrifying now. He said nothing, first weighed wine glass, then divider, finally picked largest bottle. Smashed hard at greasy man's face. Greasy exclaimed, but only once, immediately silent. Adrian slowly stood, pinched his neck against wall. Finger bones protruded from force, greasy made sounds, couldn't speak. Until seeing blood flow to his hand, so red sobered me completely, rushed and grabbed his hand. I heard tremor in voice, "Adrian, stop." Hearing my voice, expression softened, but hand force unchanged. In this state madman might do something crazier. I had to hug from behind, softly console, "I'm fine, stop, this scares me." He finally released fully, turned lowered head to look at me. My hair wet stuck to face from washing, he used other clean hand gently tucked hair behind ear, asked, "Okay? Drank too much?" His gentleness made me want to cry. Vivian startled awake by bottle smash, droopy eyes looking around, "What happened? Where am I? Adrian? Police. Selena, call police quick. Arrest all pay people." Body still swaying, Adrian pressed her to sit. She slumped on table sleeping soundly again. Adrian called Julian, dropped "Want your wife or not," hung up, sent location. With Julian's signature sports car roar, arrived in under 10 minutes. He entered straight to Vivian, not glancing at brother beside. Actually didn't want Julian take Vivian. But I'm not sober myself, might not safely take her home. Vivian, my dear sis, take care. Julian princess carried her, left without looking back. Left me and Adrian facing in room. Me, then I'll go first? Adrian grabbed me after work, tone aggrieved, then what about you hugging me just now? Ah? That was emergency. He pulled me onto lap, buried head and neck, choked, I don't care, originally wanted let go, but you hugged first. He really like our dog, hair fluffy warm, kept rubbing on me. I really no ideas about Claire, never. Spokesperson her dad requested, hard to refuse. Photo thought long couldn't recall, finally beat Julian, he remembered 3-person photo, but we fought, went home cropped each other out. Julian I don't know, but I never liked Claire, only you. Before mindful work, won't dare again, implement 9 to 5 5 days week normal schedule, rest time I'll accompany you. I read lots abstract literature, will catch your memes. Good wife, look at me. He held my face, eyes blinking, more like puppy. My heart softened, almost surrendered. Woke with splitting headache. Long not drunk so much, since marrying Julian, seemed accustomed to caged bird. Forced eyes open, not on apartment. Been here, pre-marriage, Julian and I briefly loved here. Then to avoid paparazzi, painstakingly bought this place. Privacy great, never even met neighbors in elevator. Later learned not privacy good, whole building bought by Julian. Julian on floor mat, sleep posture still awful. Before every night arms legs heavily on me. I got off bed, slapped his face. He sat up covering face, eyes swollen like walnuts. Why am I here? You drunk, cried calling me to pick you. Nonsense. I grabbed pillow threw at him. Why are you here? You dare ask. Mom says I'm useless, wife ran, wife book compensated, dare not go home. I rubbed temples, grabbed coat to leave. He quickly got up, grabbed arm. Eat breakfast then go. Okay, I'm hungry too. Never thought Julian very smart. Until today breakfast with him, understood smart people every sentence meaningful. Picking jam, my beautiful ruthless ex-wife loved this jam, sigh. Cutting heart-shaped fried egg, my heart like this egg, bisected by beautiful knife. Turned TV saw my ad, who understands, this girl so pretty. Until next ad, air suddenly cold. Claire's ad. I sneered, praise, continue praising. He put down cutlery, changed from casual, looked I seriously, I liked Claire before, don't deny. But youthful immature feeling, from dating you, not a second, not a bit, heart had any future thoughts about her. I can accept you want freedom, career, but think she no threat to our marriage. Couldn't eat breakfast, stood to leave. He didn't see off, just softly behind, you'll come back right? I paused, finally resisted turning impulse. I feel like traitor. Vivian no would scold. But strangely, told her last night couldn't help kiss Adrian, her reaction calm. New. Adrian looks at you like eyeball, knew you'd end up together. Then why instigate my divorce? Without divorce, would you know Adrian loves you so? You'd just foolishly sink into insecurity and self-doubt about this relationship. I think so too, without this, wouldn't know Adrian so dog-like, no, loves me so. I asked, then you and Julian? She shook head, no possibility. Don't want consider now, just come back, do work well first. You with Adrian good can't abandon me, still be manager. I immediately fawned, diligently massaged shoulders. But found not small red mark on neck. Gave mirror, 3 seconds later she erupted earth-shattering, Julian. Covered ears, watched her angrily call, crackling barrage of curses. What pervert rogue old dog, no taboos. Arm tired holding phone, put on table, speaker on, continued output. Julian on other end dared not reply, not interrupt Vivian's cursing rhythm. While she stopped dry-mouthed for water, he cautiously, want to scratch it, see if itchy? Vivian scratched, stunned. Itchy. She said. Julian held laugh, say possibility mosquito bite itches, of course if insist I'm that mosquito, can't help. Vivian blushed hung up. I collapsed on sofa laughing cramps. I still live with Vivian. Adrian dissatisfied, but later heard Julian bribed him several cars for this, he less hostile to Vivian. Daily accompany Vivian's schedules, sometimes home late night. Even 3 a.m., he must see me downstairs. Hugging, wife, where I buy your company, then artists only 5 days 9 to 5 work system. I tiptoed touched his hair, can't he immediately obedient. Coaxing Adrian, simple as coaxing puppy. Vivian busy lately. Any play she in, Julian cameos. Even ancient harem women ensemble, Julian for presents, played eunuch. On set watched him hunched, holding Vivian's hand calling madam. Suddenly felt Vivian like returned Shen Huan refreshing. Director NG, Vivian kicked his knee pit. You're eunuch. Posture lower. So tall need lower. And don't secretly touch my hand. Julian pouted dared not retort. Staff stunned. Seeing done wrap, Adrian said pick me for dinner. Asked Vivian join. She waved, won't be light bulb. Julian seized chance, then I go too. No one's light bulb. Vivian verbally disgusted, but didn't refuse. That day restaurant, special to us. Vivian had first dinner with Julian here. I first met Adrian here. Vivian and I booked here to celebrate divorce day. This time different. Julian being scolded, Vivian chattering output, I watched them laugh. Turned head met Adrian's gaze, he staring smiling at me.